Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah ma ba'd. A very contemporary question, a question which affects a lot of people, buyers and sellers. What is the ruling on a person having an in-store price and then a separate price for online and using an app, for example? So now, I think a lot of people do this now. If you go in store, you can buy the meal for £6, £7. Okay, but if you're using an app, if you're using a website, etc., because there are other fees or other costs involved, the price goes up. Maybe now it's £8, £9, maybe it's £10, £11, maybe it's even double the price of the in-store price listing. Is that allowed or not? Or is he taking people's wealth unjustly? This question was asked to Sheikh Aziz bin Baz rahimahullah a very long time ago. Hukum az-ziyada fil bay', what is the ruling on me increasing the price when trading? Ala ba'd al-mushtarin wa naqs al-akharin. Some customers will pay more, other customers will pay less. What is the ruling on that? Is that allowed, or am I taking their wealth unjustly? Now, it's important for us to understand that when it comes to trade, when it comes to the providing of services, when it comes to employer-employee contracts, all of this has been left up to customs. In the Sharia, nothing has been set. So the Sharia doesn't say that a customer should not pay more than X percentage, or the seller should pay or should have a profit margin of X percentage. None of that exists. It has been left completely up to us on how it is that we want to charge for an item, pay for an item, pay for a service, pay for employment, etc. Now that's actually very important for us to understand. It could be that a person has got a very important job. He's a doctor, he's a pilot, he's an accountant, etc. And his salary is very high. He might feel guilty in himself. We will say, don't feel guilty, because the Sharia has left it open and it's absolutely mubah for you to accept it. A vendor, he buys a businessman, he buys the item for 50p a unit. He ends up selling it for 5, 10, 15, £20 even for that one particular unit. Is it worth £20? Well, the answer is yes, but he's made such a profit margin. It's so huge. It's more than 10, 15, 20%. It could be hundreds in the percentage when it comes to the amount of profit that he's making. Is that allowed? We'll go back to the origin and the asl, which is that it is allowed. But there are certain conditions. And this is what the Sheikh is putting down here. So now, when we can understand that, we can then understand the mas'ala really, which is the person can charge however he wants. Because percentage on profits and how much you pay for your employee is entirely up to you. So he says in his answer, Al-wajib al-mu'min an la yakhda an-nas. It is wajib upon the mu'min that he doesn't deceive people. Now the Shaykh repeats that later on, which is here. What is meant by deception is that you know that this person has ignorance when it comes to the product, right? He doesn't know how much it's worth, he doesn't know the details, he doesn't know any of these things. So you know that the price of this item really should be about £10, £5, whatever it is. But because you know this person is willing to pay more, and he doesn't have any idea or clue about the item, let me charge him more. I know that doing this job, I can get someone to complete the role, complete what I need to be done for £10 an hour. But I'll take advantage of this person's particular situation and charge him £4, £5, £3. The Sheikh is saying here, these are all forms of deception which is not allowed. A person walks into your shop and you think, you know what, I want to charge this person more. I think he's got money, I don't like the looks of him, or something like that. That is not allowed. So that's the first condition. It is not permissible for you to deceive people and take advantage of them. Second condition, now the Sheikh is, what is apparently what he's saying is that is actually an explanation of the first sentence, which is the second sentence, the explanation of the first sentence. But there's actually another benefit in this. بل يتحرى السعر المناسب الذي لا يضر الناس. He needs to have a pricing list and strategy which is not going to harm people. Okay, so if the item is worth 5, he should charge 5. He shouldn't charge 6, 7, 8, 9. Even though Islamically he can charge how much he wants and make whatever profit margin that he feels is good for him. However, he shouldn't be harming people. He shouldn't be deceiving people. But here's the harm issue. Does it work the other way as well? If I'm selling an item for £5, Can somebody else come into the market and sell it for £2, £3? He's undercutting everyone. There's a new business that's charging much less for the same item. That is going to upset the market. It's going to put people out of business. It's going to affect the economy, and that is not allowed either. بل يتحرر السعر المناسب الذي لا يضر الناس. People should not be harmed. Competitors as well as customers. Now, in this scenario, the Shaykh hasn't mentioned it, but it's mentioned in the books of fiqh that the government, local government, central government, they don't get involved when it comes to business. Okay, because the Sharia has left it open. You can charge however you want. You can pay your employees however much you feel that they deserve. Okay, however, if the economy is going to be affected, if people are going to be harmed, if other businesses are going to be harmed, if employee rights are not going to be upheld, the government then can get involved and put a cap. Not because the Sharia has a cap on it. It is because as the Shaykh is saying here, because people are being harmed. There can be no harm or reciprocating harm. So this has also been mentioned in the books of fiqh. Also connected to the masail here now. So now we've basically said the customer shouldn't be harmed. The market shouldn't be affected. Right, so the price increase or decrease should be something which is seen as acceptable. Another sort of mas'ala in this now is that the person who is selling an item can charge however it is that he wants. So if a person comes into his store, and it's his friend, and the Shaykh gives this example as well, and it's his friend or his relative that comes into the shop and he wants to give them a gift or he wants to offer a discount, فلا بأس. هذا إليه. This is entirely up to him. He can do that. So the item is worth £5. Because he's my mate, I'll charge him 4, 3, or just give it away if you want. That's absolutely fine. This is because prices are not capped in the Sharia. If the person wants to charge more because they are expenses, because he just wants to charge more, he wants to take opportunity because there's a lot of demand but supply has reduced, all of this is permissible as long as the conditions that we have mentioned previously have been met and people are not disturbed and harmed in this way. So now to conclude the answer, is it permissible for a person to charge an in-store price and then have a separate price whilst using the app? The answer is yes, on the condition that people are not being harmed, there is no deception involved, and that the pricing for the item is still reasonable within people's means and expectations. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He grants us the best of fiqh in the dunya and the best of rizq in the akhirah, and the ultimate rizq that He can give to any one of His servants in the life of the akhirah. هذا والله أعلم. صلى الله على محمد وعلى آله